These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Okay, imagine this. A honeybee is out here doing her thing in an orchard, lands on a mystery apple blossom, then carries that pollen over to a Honeycrisp tree. Fast forward a few months, and no exaggeration, something amazing is born. The Sugar Bee apple. Packed with notes of honey, caramel, and molasses, plus an extra crisp crunch, Sugar Bee apples are perfect for snacking, baking, and everything in between. Download our new free recipe book and find a store near you at hellosugarbee.com. Sugar Bee apples, naturally sweet, from bee to you.
Hey weirdos, I'm Ash.
And I'm Alaina.
And this is Growing Your Own Loofahs. I'm totally kidding. It's actually morbid.
It is.
But I was just watching a TikTok about growing your own loofah, and I really want to grow my own loofah now.
Ash got real invested.
You know how some TikToks are 1 minute and some are like 45 minutes and a half?
Yeah.
I was on one of those ones that's 45 and a half minutes. Not actually. I think it's like the max is 3, but it
I was
feels
going to
long.
say, I think it's 3, but it feels long.
Just being hyperbolic. But anyways, I just saw one of those really long TikToks, and this guy was growing his own loofah. He grew a couple of them, and then he was like peeling it, which looked really satisfying. Like I was like, I want to do that. And then he took the whole thing out, and it was like gigantic. I was like, you could cut that in half, put one in your kitchen sink, put one in your shower. And I was really thinking about that. But then I was like, kind of looks like it would hurt on your body.
She did.
So
when I say she had all of those thoughts and she had them all out loud, I can vouch for that.
Most of my thoughts happen out loud when I'm at Alaina.
It was a fun little process to watch. I always love someone like having an argument with themselves and then like coming to a conclusion with both sides of their brain, like both sides of the argument that happened in their brain come together.
I don't know if I even came to a conclusion yet.
You didn't come to a conclusion yet, but I believe in you.
We had to start working, so
yeah.
I'll come to a conclusion later today, and I guess I'll let you guys know next episode if I'm going to grow my own loofah or not.
Because what we've come down to, I think, is that you were concerned it wasn't going to feel good, and then you said, on my skin.
No, I said on my body.
On my body.
I don't think it would feel good on my body. Like, it looks rough. Like, it looks like I'd be like... It looks almost like a pumice stone.
It does.
Which feels good on your foot, but you're not going to pumice stone your shoulder
Exfoliation
necessarily.
station is where we are.
But like these days, I guess you're not even supposed to exfoliate as much as I used to think.
I feel like everything's stupid.
Yeah, me as well.
So,
But anyways, I don't even know the climate in which you're supposed to grow a loofah, so I guess we can just move on.
yeah, we'll move on from this. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. We'll update you, let you know if Ashley's
Everybody is
growing
like,
loofahs.
"Are you on drugs right now?"
Are you all right?
And I'm like, "No, I'm on life."
and the answer is no. We are not.
Say no to drugs.
But, it's the holiday week. It's the holiday season.
It's almost Thanksgiving. I'm gonna eat a lot of food.
I'm excited. I'm going to be cooking today like crazy.
Yeah,
'cause
Elena's
I'm hosting.
Doing Thanksgiving.
I'm doing Thanksgiving, so it's gonna be interesting.
I'm particularly excited about your pumpkin and sage pasta. Are you making the pesto bread that I requested?
Yes, I am.
Because
I got all the stuff to make it.
Excited about that, and honestly, two more things. I'm also really excited about the sausage stuffing.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And the streusel,
The sweet potato streusel casserole.
Yeah, you're all invited. See you there.
And you know what? I'll post some recipes because they're all recipes I found on like the interwebs. So I can I'll post some recipes in case anybody thinks any of that sounds good.
It does.
But yeah, I'm excited. I like cooking a turkey. I like doing a little herb butter rub underneath the skin, all up in there.
How do you feel
like
about
ripping out the
going
guts.
into like the cavity?
Oh, I mean that's my job. So,
It is, but how do you feel about it?
the same I feel about my job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like it's your job because you're cooking
No,
the
I mean like
turkey.
it literally is my job to go into like cavities that no one else wants to go into.
Yeah, describe your job in a really weird way. You go first, I guess.
Yeah, there it is. I'll go first.
I cut dead things off of people.
Yeah. So it's just kind of might as well. It's a
Yeah.
turkey. It's easier, I think.
Do you put like lemons or like
Oh
oranges
yeah, you gotta.
in there?
Let me let you all know in case you're wondering. You got to put a little citrus in there.
That's what I
Got to
saw.
put a little bouquet of herbs, maybe some thyme, some rosemary, some parsley. Yeah, you gotta really get the aromatics in there.
And you also rub it in salt, right?
Yeah, that's a brining process. Some people dry brine, some people don't brine at all.
Do you
it's
brine?
really up to everybody. I've brined before.
Do
but-
you even brine,
Do you even
bro?
brine, bro?
She doesn't even brine here.
Did you even brine, bro? Yeah, and you want to put some like garlic and onion
Fuck
in
yeah, you
there,
wanna
like
put some
really get
garlic?
it going.
Do you ever put a shallot in there?
Yeah. Oh, we love a
Jean
shallot.
shallot?
We love a Jean shallot in there. And the really important thing is basting, my dudes. Baste that gosh darn bird.
That's important even if you cook
Baste.
like a chicken.
Yeah, baste the hell out of
Baste forever.
it. It makes a difference.
Even when I make like chicken breastises, I baste them.
You gotta baste that shit.
Yeah.
It works. But that's been a Thanksgiving with us.
Loofahs
so,
and Thanksgivings with Ash and Alaina.
so we're right on target here. I think we're right on brand.
True crime.
True crime. Loofahs and
True crime.
and turkeys. But yeah, today's also gonna be kind of like a different episode a little bit. It's like we're in the dark spookiness, but this is like a different one. I feel we've never really done anything like this.
Particularly, I'm very excited.
I'm pretty excited. So we'll start this off the proper way.
Yeah.
So Alaina,
That's you.
that's me. I have been obsessed with The Wizard of Oz since I was a little girl. I used to literally have to dress up like Dorothy every time I watched it. I had the ruby red slippers, had the outfit. My mom would braid my hair. I know every line of that movie. I watched it 100,000 times.
It's adorable.
So that was like my jam when I was little. And I was always wondering when I should allow the girls to get into it because, like, I'm weird. And, like, I watched a lot of shit that I was like, wow, I can't believe that didn't traumatize me.
Such as Labyrinth.
But maybe it did. I don't know. The girls have watched Labyrinth and they love it. But Wizard of Oz, some people, I remember Drew was saying the flying monkeys freaked him out. And I remember John was like, no, the flying monkeys are, like, scary. And I was like, I don't know, guys.
Yeah, it's funny because I
don't know, men.
that they were. I don't know, men.
know.
That's how I usually feel.
I don't
Just
know.
kidding. I always thought that like they were a little bit scary, but
I
then
don't think they are.
in watching it with the girls,
Yeah.
I realized I've only seen it once.
That's wild to
Yeah.
me. That's really wild
I
to
only
me.
watched it one time, and then it's not that I didn't like it. I think I just like didn't really get that
you
fascinated
either you
with
vibe
it.
with it or you don't.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like one of those things you watch it and you're either like, wow, this is my entire personality now, or you're like, Maybe I'll watch it again someday.
Yeah, see, I watched Coyote Ugly when I was little, and I felt like that was my entire personality.
That's
and
who
I
we
still
are
do.
as people, I feel.
That is. You're the Wizard of Oz, and I'm Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, I think those honestly describe us pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, I was worried. I didn't know. I was like, is 5 good? And then this past Halloween, a couple of people in their dance class and their school had Dorothy costumes. And I was like, oh.
And they were like, what's that about?
Oh, people are watching Wizard of Oz. But I was like, I don't know. And they came home one day and were like, I really liked that outfit.
Yeah.
Who's Dorothy? Can you... So I started
What's this all
explaining
about?
it to them. And this is how I usually introduce movies that I'm not quite sure if they're ready for yet. Like Labyrinth, I did this too. We talk about it a lot.
Talk about like the plot.
We talk about it. We talk about the story. And then what I'll do is I'll show them little clips of it every now and then. I'll be like,
see how
oh,
they
look at this
respond.
fun clip of them in the scary forest with the winged monkeys. And I'm like, do you like that? And they're like, that's cool. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, we're here. So after a few days of that, I was like, let's do this. We had to they were so excited. We sat down as a family. We watched The Wizard of Oz. I was in my glory, like
Yeah.
I was when we watched Labyrinth. Those are my favorite things about being a parent, is like showing them those things.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
you're like, oh, I want
Because
you
it's
to
like
love it.
you relive your childhood.
Oh, it's
like
so
the
fun.
happiness and like
Yeah.
like memories from your childhood.
You see it through their eyes. And so we sat down, we watched it. They adored it.
They have
Adored it.
watched it how many times since then?
Probably 100 times, and it's only been like 2 weeks.
Like, I feel like a terrible aunt, but yesterday one of them was like, TT, will you watch that with me? And I was like, ooh, you want to watch like anything else?
Yeah, you're like, I literally can't. Meanwhile, I'm like, let's watch it again. But, and of course, while we're watching it, I immediately was like, guys, who's your favorite? Like, you gotta have a favorite of the gang, you know? So,
The
and I knew
squad.
it. I knew that my little feral middle child was gonna love the Cowardly Lion.
Yep.
Because she herself is a lion.
She loves lions.
Not cowardly, but a lion.
Not cowardly
And
at
she
all.
loves lions. Oldest, I knew she was gonna dig the Scarecrow. I just had a feeling.
Yeah, kind vibes.
Yeah,
kind
she
vibes.
likes that whole
Leader.
vibe. He had the leader of the pack, and they both love Dorothy. They think she's like
That just
the
goes
bee's
without
knees.
saying.
And my littlest one just loved the whole thing. She didn't know what to do. But so we got in the discussion of, I was like, you know, when I was little, I was literally in love with the Tin Man.
Yeah.
Like in love with the Tin Man. My mom can tell you, I used to be like, can I marry the Tin Man? And mom was like, you can't. But like, that's a nice thought. And I don't know what it is. And I've never really like fully thought about it. Like, and I think it's just now it's because before it was like you're little and you're like, I love the Tin Man, whatever.
Yeah.
You move on, you grow up. And all of a sudden, when watching it with the girls again, I'm like suddenly like,
You don't move on or grow up.
I didn't move on from that because I still think the Tin Man's hot. What's that about me? Like I was watching it and I was like, no, I'm still like really attracted to the Tin Man.
He's from our neck of the woods, you said, right?
He is. A lot of them are from Boston.
Hell yeah,
like
brother.
the Wicked Witch, Margaret Hamilton. She was from Boston.
Oh shit, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Edit. Margaret Hamilton is not from Boston. I just wanted her to be. Sorry about that. Ray Bolger, the Scarecrow, Boston. I actually think, I'm not sure if Bert, I think his name is Lara. I'm not really sure. I'll get to it in a second. But the guy who played the Cowardly Lion, he might have been from around here too. A lot of them are from here.
And the Tin Man you said was from Dorchester?
Tin Man is from Dorchester.
I love that.
So and he has like a thick Boston accent. And I think that's like ingrained in my brain to just automatically like connect to.
That's the most attractive
Like when he
accent.
says like the Tin Man forgot to the tin maker forgot to give me a hat. And they both go, no hat, no hat. And I'm just like, yes, I love
You're
you.
like, swoon.
And then I realized that not only do I love the Tin Man, but I love Jack Haley, the man who played the Tin Man. Like, it was a big realization week for me. Like I really had like it was a journey. It was an eat, pray, love situation. I just like had to go through it.
God, that movie.
I never saw that movie or read that book, but I feel
literally
like it's
don't.
a journey of sorts. So
It's a journey watching the movie because it's 42 years long.
yeah, this was my journey through why do I find the Tin Man attractive, and I
Yeah.
realized that I find Jack Haley attractive.
You should do one of those TikToks where it's like show your childhood crush and then show who you married and like just is there any
Is there any resemblance?
like
Any.
is the Tin Man Man's pretty tall.
He is. He's tall. He's kind.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. Okay, let's have some real talk, just one-on-one for a second. I know you know this feeling. You start your period and the only pad that you have available is uncomfortable. It's like crunchy and weird. We can literally start our car from our phones, but we're still settling for crunchy, uncomfortable pads. Girl, listen, when you're looking for softness and protection, Kotex has you covered. They are changing the game with a completely redesigned lineup of pads and liners that are designed around what women actually want, like Kotex Bamboo. Kotex Bamboo has a 100% bamboo-derived viscose top layer that provides ultra-soft protection, which means you don't have to worry about feeling itchy or uncomfortable. It's like the worst feeling ever. It's gentle on the skin and it's made without fragrance too. Check out Kotex.com for more details on the new and exciting launch of Kotex Bamboo, available in regular, heavy, overnight, and daily liners. Every flow covered. Now available at retailers nationwide.
He has kind eyes. He has a hat. He has no hat,
But he has
hat.
hat, you know?
Yeah, and he's got very expressive eyes.
I wonder if he has a nice jaw.
He does.
Love a nice jaw.
He has a great jaw. I definitely have a type. That's for sure. We all know that. But so this is what brought me this big long story that I just like feel like you all needed to know, because I also had like a really fun conversation on Twitter with a bunch of listeners about this, and like they were saying a ton of them were into the Tin Man, and they were like, oh my God, I thought I was alone. And then a lot of people were like, I was a Scarecrow girl, so like or like I was a Scarecrow guy, and we got like this big discussion of like, why the hell do we find these characters? And it was really fun. So like, thanks for getting into that discussion with me. And it made me think about the fact that, wait, I remember coming upon all these weird, dark, like fucked up things that happened during the making of this movie, which is funny that like we're all so in love with like those of us who are like into this movie and find it beloved. Like you can just be like, well, that was the 1930s. I don't know. Like
let's
stuff
let
was
that
going
go
on. But when you really look into it, you're like, damn, the making of this movie was like a harrowing adventure.
Do you know what? I feel like it's not that I don't like The Wizard of Oz, but I feel like I like feel that when I watch it.
Yeah,
like I
like
feel
a lot.
the darkness. Because I remember
some darkness.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, and like I guess the only time until recently, I was just like, like I didn't feel good about it.
Yeah, see, I felt great about it.
Yeah.
So I apparently am not intuitive to the darkness, but now I'm like, wow, there's a lot of dark shit.
It's my empathetic ways.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through all the fucked up dark secrets behind The Wizard of Oz. Because some people have actually asked us to do this in the past. And recently when I mentioned the girls were watching it, somebody was like, you gotta do the weird stuff behind The Wizard of Oz.
It's like the man behind the curtain.
And actually, I think it was Michael from the Spookies podcast. That was like, you guys should cover that. And I was like, little do you know.
Working on that now.
So let's start. We're going to go through some of these things. I'm just going to go like list by list, but we're really going to get into them.
Okay,
so
let's
the
go.
first thing we're going to talk about, because it's the most important, is the Tin Man makeup.
Obviously.
Jack Haley. There is a big, long, very long-standing like legend, myth, rumor that is untrue, that John even thought was true, that the Tin Man, the original Tin Man who played him, died because of the makeup they put on him. That's a big, long legend of this movie, that people are like, well, the original Tin Man died from the makeup and they had to replace him. No, that didn't happen. In fact, John used it because when we were watching it, I mentioned how like I was like, oh my God, swoon Tin Man. And he was like, too bad what happened to him, huh? Like he made a joke like, that's too bad. And I was like, nothing happened to him. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, let me tell you a story. Nothing happened. So something did happen to the original Tin Man, but it's not what we think. So Jack Haley was not the original Tin Man. Buddy Ebsen was originally cast as actually not even the Tin Man, the Scarecrow.
Oh.
And Ray Bolger, who is the Scarecrow in the movie, was originally cast as the Tin Man.
So like swippity swappity.
So at some point they decided to switch roles. Because I think Ray came out and he said that he really felt he was better suited for the role of Scarecrow, and he like just really liked that part, and he thought he could play it better.
He does a great
and he
Scarecrow.
Is. Like it wouldn't have worked switched.
No.
So we have Buddy Ebsen, who is like in the Beverly Hillbillies. He was like a very well-known comedic actor, all that good stuff. Like everybody knew who he was at the time. He was cast as the Tin Man. So Ebsen started rehearsals and the wardrobe fittings for his new role, and everything was going fine with wardrobe, everything. He said, quote, I was a guinea pig. They didn't know how to simulate the Tin Man's garments, so I found myself doing tests with clothes made of real tin and clothes made of silver paper and clothes made out of cardboard covered with silver cloth. The makeup was just as bad. Try this, try that. In the end, they glued a cap on my head and covered it with glued on a rubber nose and a rubber chin, and then covered the whole thing with clown white makeup, and then powdered aluminum dust onto my face and head.
Oh.
So yeah, everything's going fine.
Everything's
no problems
totally
here.
fine.
I don't see anything in there that could go awry.
No.
So everything was fine. He was covered with aluminum dust every day, and that was fine. He had recorded every line of the Tin Man's songs and when they began filming. So he was already, he had all the songs recorded. Everything was ready to go. Things went well until October 13th, 1938, which was only 9 days after they started filming. Ebsen suddenly said, I'm feeling horrific. And he was having labored breathing. He was having chest pains. His arms and legs were cramping and just completely cringing up. He could barely walk. He was like passing out. And he said, he was quoted as saying, quote, one night after dinner, I took a breath and nothing happened. They got an ambulance and had me go down to Good Samaritan for a couple of weeks. My lungs were coated with that aluminum dust they had been powdering on my face.
Oh my God.
He was blue and barely breathing when he arrived.
That's so scary. His lungs were coated with aluminum powder.
Yes, he was put in an iron lung. Dude was in an iron lung and spent weeks in the hospital recovering. Then after that, he had to spend more than a month recovering at the Coronado Hotel in San Diego. He had to just lay in bed for weeks.
Oh God.
Now, this is what's nuts. Everyone at the MGM studio producing the film was just pissed.
MGM got pissed about a lot of things back in the day that were actually their fault.
I'm sorry, what? They were furious that he was missing filming and literally demanded him back on set.
That's cute.
He was literally dying of respiratory failure in an iron lung, and they were calling the hospital saying he needs to be back on set.
Yeah, well, he's in an iron lung right now.
Yeah.
He can't come to the phone right now.
He's in an iron lung. I'm sorry.
Like Taylor Swift remix.
It's wild. And he was quoted as saying, it seemed they couldn't understand that an actor could get sick. They were furious. Mervyn Leroy kept, and he was like the head of the studio, kept calling the hospital and saying, he can't be in bed. He's due on set. And Jack Don called me to tell me I couldn't possibly be sick because he had used aluminum dust, pure aluminum dust on my face. So they're saying, you can't, no, it's not, and they're trying to cover their ass too.
Of course,
but
they don't want to get sued.
No, it can't be the aluminum dust because it's pure.
You're like, that's actually exactly why I'm so sick right now.
Well, and that's what's crazy is at the time, they did think pure aluminum dust was pretty fine.
Wow.
They did not. In fact, I found a paper published in the Journal of Environmental and Occupational Health Policy. You know it, right?
Yeah, I read that at night.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
To fall asleep.
There was a period of time between about 1943 and 1979 where people who worked in mines, I almost just said miners, but I thought you guys would confuse that and be like, people under the age of what? Like miners. Yes. You get it now. They were literally forced. This is wild to me. This is such a dark thing in history. They were literally forced to inhale aluminum dust as an experimental medical treatment and a preventative measure to stop a disease of the lungs called silicosis.
So not only were they like breathing in the fumes from like, you know, mining, but also they were like, hey, can you sniff some of this? It's an experiment.
Oh, wait until you hear how they did it. So silicosis is a lung disease that's caused by long-term inhalation of crystalline silica dust, or the particles. And these are found in a lot of environmental structures like stone, rock, clay, things that miners are working with. Miners who were diagnosed with this would at first just find themselves having this like nasty cough all the time, like it's almost like black lung kind of thing.
I was just thinking
and they would have shortness of breath, and it really isn't diagnosed for like years usually.
All I'm thinking of right now is Zoolander.
Right, when he says like, I think I've got the black lung pop.
You just like looked like him. You even did the fucking hand.
You gotta do that. It's so good.
It is.
Zoolander's the best.
I tried not to like it when I was younger.
But you can't.
But it's funny.
But it would be found on chest x-rays like years later. So what would happen was these employers would blow this finely powdered version of aluminum dust called McIntyre powder into the changing rooms of the miners, and they did this through the fucking air systems. What? So they would just be in their changing area, and there's aluminum dust particles being blown in through all the air ducts.
For experimental purposes.
Now, in this paper, in that journal, this paper is called Trading One Risk for Another, Consequences of the Unauthenticated Treatment and Prevention of Silicosis in Ontario Miners in the McIntyre Powder Aluminum Inhalation Program.
Me as well.
And it's by Janice Martel and Lee L. Giudotti. Sorry, T. But yeah, two really smart people. And I'll link this paper so you can go look at it because I'm sure you want to. But
yeah, I'm going to read it.
In this, they talk about a guy named Jim Hobbs. And they said he was 37 years old for the first time that he tasted aluminum dust. It was March 1978.
Whoa.
And it was his first day going underground at Rio Algom's Cork 2 uranium mine. Now, after changing from street clothes into his mining gear, Hobbs followed the other miners into a tunnel-like building that led to the cage that would transport them underground for their 8-hour shift of drilling, mucking, and blasting. The building, dubbed the gas chamber by those who entered it, was lined with benches, and Hobbs followed the routine of the others, taking a seat and waiting for the cage call. Before that call came, and after the last man entered the building, the doors shut at both ends, the ventilation fans stop, and the supervisor yelled what would become a familiar phrase in a surreal ritual that Hobbs would experience prior to every shift for the next year and a half.
Oh my God.
Breathe deep, boys. That's what they would yell.
What? In 1978?
Yep. The hiss of compressed air lines was quickly followed by a cloud of black dust filling the room, obscuring Hobbs's vision of all that surrounded him as he took his first breaths of very finely ground aluminum powder, swirling rapidly from punctured canisters attached to the air lines. His chest felt heavy, his exposed skin and clothes were blackened, a metallic taste formed in his mouth, and he soon joined the choir of coughing and gasping arising from the others.
Oh my God.
After 10 minutes, the doors opened and Hobbs and his shift partners were herded into the cage. His first industrial medical treatment was over.
And he had to do that
every day for a year and a half.
What? Like, why were they trying this? What were they trying to get out of it? Because they thought it was going
to stop silicosis.
What?
So yeah, that's how little concerned they were by aluminum powder, which is why they called the hospital and were like, no.
He needs to come back here.
No, buddy. You're fine. It was pure aluminum dust. We're not worried about it. Thank you.
And the doctors were like...
And the doctors were like... And even the doctors were like, okay, we're not like vibing with that aluminum dust thing. Like all of us kind of feel like it's probably going to become a problem in a few years. But if we're even ignoring that, if he's not just being poisoned by it,
still in an iron lung.
He's still having an allergic reaction to it. Yeah. So like something's happening bad here. And so, so they were like, yeah, no, he can't come back. Like, I'm sorry. That's not something that can happen. Now, Buddy Ebsen, because of course you're like, sue the studio. Like,
That was absolutely my first thought.
Well, Buddy Ebsen said he didn't sue the studio because it was a very different time, and all of the studio execs were in each other's pockets, which I'm sure it's not that different than now.
I was going to say.
But if he had sued MGM, he would have been blacklisted by all other studios.
Yeah, because you're a difficult actor at that point.
He said, quote, "You didn't just sue lightly. You didn't just lightly sue MGM because it was a power. And there was a certain cohesion between the moguls. They all used to play poker together on Saturday nights and decide who were the good actors and who were the bad."
I mean, look at Jean Harlow. MGM showed up to her husband's death scene and was like, "Yeah, we don't need to call the police. We know what happened.
It's fine. We are the investigators here." Yeah, they were a power.
Yeah, absolutely.
So after a few weeks of trying to get him back from like the brink of death, to then paint poison on him again and have him do it again, like that was their plan. Like, let's just put you back in the makeup.
They're like, we're making a fucking movie guy.
Yeah. So finally they gave up because they were like, we can't wait any longer. And he was really, really sick.
Yeah.
So they were like, we can't wait for you. So the head of the studio, Mervyn LeRoy, decided to just fire Ebsen, and he grabbed Jack Haley to take over as part of the Tin Man. Now, I wrote in my notes, now Jack Haley is a babe. Literally has nothing to do with anything else I'm saying. I literally just wrote it in my notes and I just realized that.
I love to write myself little notes that maybe I'll say.
That was for me.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm
giving it to you guys.
I do that sometimes too.
And I wrote, I just need to clear that up for myself. I literally wrote that next. So whatever. He also had the weirdest contract that wasn't very weird then, but sounds weird now.
What is said?
Basically, and this was something that was, like I said, wasn't weird then. A lot of actors and actresses had this. Basically, he could be forced to play any role in these studios because his contract basically put him on loan to them.
Oh.
Like, they could just call him and be like, we got a role for you. Get in here now. You have no say in it.
Oh, wow.
So they called him up, and they didn't offer him the role. They called him and said, hey, you're the Tin Man. Get in here. You have no choice.
Okay.
And so he had to. And he said, quote, the type of contract I had to respond to their commands. I had no choice. I was under contract and they could lend me to any studio. It was the most awful work, the most horrendous job in the world with those cumbersome uniforms and the hours of makeup, but I had no choice.
Wow.
Like, you had no say in it.
I love that he was like, I fucking hated it.
Yeah, he was like, this sucked. His costume was crazy heavy. Part of it was like really metal.
And
so
probably
it weighed a ton.
so hot, like you
So
said.
hot. He couldn't sit, so he would lean against this thing. Like, it was like a board that was like specifically made for actresses in huge gowns and corsets.
To lean against.
When they couldn't sit down, they would just lean against this to get any kind of relief.
Oh my God.
So they had one there and he would just lean on it. And actually, he would do this like between shots a lot, like just to get some relief because he literally couldn't sit.
His back must have been killing him.
And it was funny because the guy who played the Cowardly Lion, Bert, he said that it pissed him off because his costume was so heavy. We'll get into his costume, don't worry. Because his costume has some dark shit too. But he said it used to piss him off because he also was like an insomniac in real life. So he said he would walk by Jack Haley just leaning against a board in full costume, out cold between shots. Like, he was like, that dude could fall asleep next to a board. And he's like, it used to piss me off. I was like, fuck that guy. Like, why can he sleep like that? And I can't even sleep in my bed.
That's hilarious.
I just I'll link the book I found on this. It's really interesting. There's a lot of
This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Let's talk about bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, and it doesn't have to be that way. But with SoFi's high-yield checkings and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit. No account or overdraft fees. We love transparency. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, plus get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/morbid. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat, comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love, with elevated essentials made from premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, without the traditional retail markup. I love that! Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces that you absolutely will reach for all summer long. I absolutely love their linen. I have so many pairs of their linen pants, which you can dress up or you can dress down in the summer. Like, say you're going to a nice dinner, you can pair it with like a silk shirt, a really cute necklace, some good, makeup and an updo. Or if you're just looking for a more casual look, you can do the linen pants with like a loose button-up shirt and you still look really chic, kind of like, I don't know, Diane Keaton vibes, I kind of think. Also, it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. They have it all, honey. I am a big lover of Quince, and I really do think you will be too. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/morbid for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/morbid for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morbid.
Behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
But so he just stepped in. He wasn't told shit about why Buddy Ebsen was fired either.
Yeah,
because you just in those days you went in and people got fired all the time for everything.
Anything.
So
for
you
gaining
would just
5 pounds at Thelma Todd.
Exactly, at Thelma Todd. So you go in and you didn't ask questions.
Right.
You just, okay, this is mine. I guess luckily for him, they did change the way they did the makeup, which shows that they definitely knew it was a poison in the first place. They made it into an aluminum paste instead of a dust, so he wouldn't be inhaling the dust.
But you're still inhaling aluminum to some degree.
To some degree, I'm sure he never had any problems afterwards. But what they did was they painted white grease paint on him, like clown makeup.
Yeah.
And then they used the paste that had aluminum dust in it to put that aluminum sheen over him, so it wasn't dusted on. With Ray, it was literally dusted on, so it was just like
yeah, and like all this.
Yeah,
it makes me think of like translucent powder.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, because it just gets like all over you.
But unfortunately, this paste did get into his eye, and it caused a bad infection in his right eye, and he was gone for 4 days while they had to save his sight.
Oh my God.
They were worried he was going to lose sight.
Did they discard all aluminum-based products after this?
No, they didn't. So while all this is going on, by the way, Ray Bolger as the Scarecrow was also dealing with the horror of the makeup he had to wear every day too, because we're not in like the Tom Savini kind of makeup here. Like, we're not in like the 2000s.
Yeah,
like, we know what we're doing. We're in 1930s. They're doing what they can.
Exactly.
And when you actually look at the Scarecrow makeup in that, you're like, that's pretty good. Like,
and the Tin Man makeup is
Tin Man's great too. Like, the Scarecrow looks like a burlap sack.
Yeah,
is his head, but it was gnarly. It's not like now they have the really they have certain brushes and stuff that they'll use and like substances that can take the makeup off really nicely too and gently. They would just tear that shit off of you. Yeah. And what Ray Bolger, the Scarecrow, said was, quote, "I came home exhausted and had 2 bourbon old fashions. The drinks were therapeutic. I needed the alcohol to let me down. And they had enough sugar to kind of give me a lift so I could manage to eat my dinner and fall into bed."
Oh, man.
That's how they felt at the end of these days. Now, he remembers nothing else about this, these months, he said, but, quote, "going to bed and getting up and going to work. And half the time, I don't even remember that." So they were just they were just trucking through. And when you hear what they did to keep Dorothy on task.
Oh, yeah.
The filming days were insane. And they were in these, a lot of people think that Judy Garland had it easier in the costume sense, but she did in this sense, but she had it bad in a different way.
Yeah, she had it fucking bad.
Yeah, they had these gnarly costumes that they were spending literally 13-hour days in. They couldn't take them off,
right?
Because they weren't willing to redo the makeup. So if you broke for lunch, you either tried to eat lunch in that makeup. If you couldn't, too bad.
Oh my God, the lion costume! I can't imagine being in that for 13 hours a day.
Oh yeah. And what both Ray and Jack Haley said was, quote, "The mask wasn't porous, so you couldn't sweat. You couldn't breathe through your skin. You don't realize how much you breathe through your skin until you can't do it. We felt like we were suffocating."
Oh my God.
Yeah. He also discovered after the last take of the film that the corners of his mouth and his chin were permanently lined from his makeup.
What?
Yeah. Like he said it took months and months for them to even fade.
Oh
like
my
the corners
God.
of his mouths were had like lines, like a Joker makeup.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I know, it's insane. And Jack Haley said that his costume was, quote, no less awful. They pulled my hair back as flat as they could and put some sort of rubber skin over my head and glued it down behind my ears. They covered my face with cold cream. Then they took a white chalk-like salve and painted my face white. The idea of the white stuff was to close my pores so the silver paste that made me look like I was made of tin wouldn't damage my skin. They painted my face silver and glued on a silver nose. They glued a strip of rubber that was supposed to be tin under my chin and glued each individual rubber ribbit onto my face. Then they painted my lips black because painting my face silver made my mouth look too red.
Oh my God.
Coloring my lips black made my gums and tongue duller. I couldn't breathe through my face. None of us could. And Bert Lahr had it worst of all.
And then think of, God only knows what they were using for glue. Like nowadays you use liquid latex
Like
or
spirit gum and
what was the thing that you used for
Prozaid.
Prozaid, yeah.
But this was probably just glue
on your skin. This is probably fucking Gorilla Glue.
It probably is.
Let me super glue this to your face and rip it off every day.
Well, and when Haley says that Bert Lahr had it worst of all, Bert Lahr played the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah.
That was real lion hide.
Yeah, you told me that the other day and I'm still not over
The
it.
Cowardly Lion's costume was made of real lion skin, real lion fur,
That's fucked.
real lion hide. It was 90 pounds and it smelled, they said.
Ew, of course it did.
Yeah, and they said it literally smelled, and they were so heavy to walk around in, so heavy to move in. They said that he would take it off at the end of the day and literally be dripping with sweat.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't, I couldn't even talk. I'm yeah.
And then his face, he had a lot of prosthesis on his face. He had a lot of, the mouth area that's supposed to look like a cat. So they made it so his mouth couldn't open that wide. So he couldn't eat.
And for 13 hours a day, he was just sitting there.
Literally. And they said he would literally have to drink only a milkshake or soup or something he could suck through a straw, basically.
Get him full, too.
And he said that, because if he tried to chew, he would break the prosthesis and they didn't want to redo it.
And they'd be pissed.
So he literally couldn't eat. And he would get pissed, I guess, at Jack and Ray for nomming in between shots whenever they could, because he literally couldn't. And every once in a while, he would just get pissed and just grab a sandwich and just bust through his makeup.
I don't blame him. Hangry is a real thing.
Because these people, all of these actors, were literally starved on set. They were not given food. And if they were given food, they were told that they were fat and out of it's insane.
Well, and then think about you're lugging around a 90-pound costume all day where you literally can't, your body can't even cool itself down. So you're sweating, you're super hot, and then you can't eat. I wonder how much weight that guy lost.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure. And they said that they had to use a ton of arc lighting from different studios to get the effect of all of these sets. And and so it is 1 billion degrees.
Yeah.
And so they would literally between shots run over to the doors and open the doors and just get fresh air and breathe. All of those, all the main 4 actors would literally, they said, would just be gasping for breath outside the door between shots, trying to get any kind of,
what a great
this is
fun
a literal
movie.
Torturous experience.
Yay.
But yeah, so the Cowardly Lion had a tough, just only based on the fact that he's wearing real lion fur.
Yeah, fuck that.
And then you can't eat. It's insane.
That's 90 pounds.
Really wild. So
13 hours a day.
now let's get on to some of the other makeup issues and some of the accidents that happened on this set.
Yeah.
So the Wicked Witch of the West was played by Margaret Hamilton. She's phenomenal. We
amazing.
love her. We love her. Now let's talk about her makeup. Obviously, if you've seen the movie, she's green from head to toe.
Yes.
Green makeup back then was made with copper oxide. It was made with copper, which is toxic.
Yeah.
So the makeup people said that they had to be completely thorough when removing her makeup every night before she left, because if they left any, it could literally be fatal. It could poison her.
How did it not poison her throughout the 13-hour day?
Don't know. So they said, quote, every night when I was taking, this was a makeup person, every night when I was taking off the witch's makeup, I would make sure that her face was thoroughly clean, spotlessly clean, because you don't take chances with green. So when she was burned, spoiler alert, I remember that I didn't want to take any chances. I knew that makeup had to be cleaned off. So we're going to talk about that burn situation
right now.
And how they just said even when she was burned, we had to clean the makeup off. Remember that.
Oh, no. I don't want to talk about that.
So in the scene where the Wicked Witch of the West leaves Munchkin Land in like a puff of smoke in the beginning, and there's like fire and smoke, there was an accident. So it was December 23rd, 1938. They had put a false piece of yellow brick road where she had to exit.
Okay.
So she was to back up onto this, and it was rigged with an elevator to bring her down and out of the shot. While she was lowering down, the smoke and fire would come up and obscure her going down. Now, they practiced this a ton because she had to go backwards and hit the spot just right. Because if the elevator went down and only one of her feet was on it, she could like break her legs.
Yeah.
So I guess the opening of that elevator shaft there was really narrow too. So Margaret Hamilton was instructed and practiced a million times to bring her elbows in tight as soon as it started going down, because if she didn't, she would literally break her arms or her shoulders. And they weren't like, let's figure out a way to make that not happen. They were just like,
Do your best.
hold your elbows in, because if not, you're going to break both of your shoulders.
You're like, wing it, bitch.
Like, what? And there was also 2 guys waiting below in case she broke her legs coming down. They could carry her.
Awesome.
So those
Thanks
were the
for being
concerns.
so thoughtful, guys.
And weirdly, those are the concerns. They're worried about her breaking her arms or like her legs.
But we
down
have like
there.
whole ass fire going on.
But weirdly, nothing like that happened. She didn't break a leg or an arm or anything. Legs and arms were fine. In fact, the first time they did this whole shot, it was perfect. Went off without a
Wow.
hitch. Victor Fleming, the director, was like psyched. He was like, that was perfect. But he said, as always, we're going to do one more shot just to have it in the can. Just in case.
Oh no. That's when you know
Yep.
too. That's when you know.
Yep. And this is when the shit hit the fan. So Margaret Hamilton actually recalled something that Billy Burke said. She's the one who plays Glinda, Billy Burke.
Okay.
She actually said, quote, "We were about 40 feet away from the fire, and Miss Burke shook her head and said, 'Oh, I'm not going to stand here.' And I said, 'Why not, Miss Burke?' And she said, 'Oh, my dear, it's much too hot.' And I thought, you're 40 feet away, but I'm going to be right in the middle of it."
Yeah, right?
She was like, shit, like what? So they had taken a break, and when they came back to do this second shot, just the insurance shot, a bunch of mishaps happened. Nothing that got anybody hurt at first, but it was
like
things
warning
like,
signs.
you know, she wasn't hidden by the smoke. The fire happened too late. The fire didn't go off at all. It was just like everything was fucking
Signs
up.
from the universe saying you
Yeah,
already
just
got your shot.
take that shot.
We got the shot.
We got the shot, Fleming. Let's just let it go. Now, she said, quote, and this is crazy, that this is how much Victor Fleming, the director, did not give a shit about these people. So she said, quote, "And then we got the full tilt of Mr. Fleming's impatience and anxiety. In no uncertain language, he told us to pull ourselves together and get the shot done. He said, there's no excuse for this. The minute she gets her foot on, and I said, Mr. Fleming, I want to get both feet on. And he said, yes, of course, but I want this shot done right and right now." Well, it went wrong. The fire went way too early while Margaret Hamilton was not under the stage yet. So the broom got caught fire, the broom that she was holding, and it caught her face on fire. She said, quote, "I felt warmth on my face, that's all. It's still unbelievable. There was a whole lot of running and hullabaloo and shouting.
Hullabaloo.
And my hat and my broom were on fire, and I didn't even know it." She was literally in shock.
Of course.
She ended up with first-degree burns on her face, mainly her chin, nose, cheek, and forehead. Her eyebrows and lashes were completely burned off.
Oh my God.
She had second and almost third-degree burns on her hands.
Oh.
That was the worst part. The skin on her right hand was completely gone. It was
Goodbye.
just raw flesh.
Goodbye.
Just raw flesh. Oh my Now, remember that makeup? The toxic green makeup thing?
Did it not like burn into her skeleton at that point?
Well, when the flesh on her hands literally peeled off from the burns, they still had to remove the makeup. And the only way to do that was alcohol.
No.
So they had to use alcohol to scrub the toxic copper oxide filled green makeup off the hands of Margaret Hamilton after she burned the flesh clean off of them. And her face.
You know how like when older people are like, I used to have to walk backwards up a hill to school in
Everyone
the snow.
in the Wizard
like,
of Oz has the
like,
right to say that.
I did.
They can.
They're like, I had my hands cleaned with alcohol after suffering third-degree burns and like peeling my skin back.
Mm-hmm. She said it was the most horrific pain she's ever felt in her life. She was out for 6 weeks healing.
And I bet they were pissed.
Oh, they were on her ass. In fact, her doctor answered the phone once while they called her at home. And he was like, she's an idiot if she doesn't sue your ass. Like, she'll get back when she's good and ready. Like, flipped
good
out.
for him. I love that. And they were probably like, watch her.
They were like, mm-hmm. Now, again, she said the only reason she didn't sue is because she wanted to work again. And she never would have if she was sued. But
so did they have to pause filming then?
They did, yeah. And she did refuse to work with fire ever again in the movie. She was like, figure it out. I'm not working with fire. Now, in fact, when she got back to set, she was due to do that skywriting scene, that Surrender Dorothy scene.
I love that.
There's a band called Surrender Dorothy, I remember, like from high school.
Yeah.
Great band name. Surrender Dorothy. So good. I want to call it. Oh, I can't. But good job, guys.
Yeah, seriously. That is a good one.
She was doing the close-ups because there's close-up shots of her like on the broom, like laughing, and there's smoke behind her.
And like yelling at Dorothy.
Yeah, just screaming and screeching. But it required her to sit on a steel saddle on her broom. And it was raised up, and then smoke would pour out of the back from a pipe under the saddle.
Oh, God.
That's how they rigged this whole thing.
I'd be like, I don't want to do that.
Now, she was told by everyone, no, this is completely safe. Don't worry about it. You're good. Like, when have we ever put you in danger before, you know?
I'd be like, is this pipe going to explode under my badonkadonk?
But they mentioned, if you'd like, we did make you a fireproof costume. And she was like,
why?
Why'd you make me a fireproof costume if this is completely safe?
And it's probably not even fireproof.
Like, why would
I don't trust a single thing you say.
So she was like, no. So she said she wouldn't do it with the smoke and the fire. She's like, no. She said she would do the close-ups. She was like, do the close-ups of my face, add shit in afterwards. And she was like, I don't know what to tell you with everything else.
I don't blame her.
Her stunt double, Betty Danko, said she would do the rest. Now, she was a young girl at this point.
She was probably trying to be like an up and coming actress. So she's like, I'll do anything.
Oh yeah, and she's a stunt girl, so she's like, she's done a few things like this, and she's like, oh yeah,
and you gotta be down for anything.
But Margaret actually told her before she left set that day, she was like, I'm really worried for you. I don't want you to do it. Like, I'm worried something's gonna happen and you're gonna get hurt. And she was like, no, I need the money. I don't want them to think I'm hard to work with. Mm-hmm. Well, turns out they did 2 good takes on the broomstick, and the third time the pipe literally exploded under her.
I knew you were going to say that.
She said, quote, I felt as though my scalp was coming off. I guess that's because my hat and my black wig were literally torn loose. They found them days later at the top of the stage.
Oh my God.
The explosion blew me off the broomstick. I managed to grab it with both hands and throw my leg over it. I hung upside down while the men handling the wires lowered the broomstick to the floor and put me face down on the stage. She was completely burned, and her left leg had a giant hole in it where her dress had become fused because it was burned into this giant hole in her leg.
What the fuck?
I want to hear what's even better.
I don't.
Quote, while I lay there on the floor waiting for the ambulance, the wardrobe woman came running in and she said, what did you do with the hat? I have to turn it in, you know.
I'd be like, there's a motherfucking hole in my leg, and I suggest you get the fuck away from me unless you'd like a matching one.
I was just lit aflame. What?
I'd be like, you can take the hat when you find it and shove it right up your...
Like, I am Bruni the fire spirit from Frozen 2 right now. And you are asking me where that hat is?
You're laying, first of all, face first, because they can't even have, like, the nicety to put you on your back.
Like, what?
And then she's like, I need to hand in that hat.
I need to turn that in, you know? It's like, well, you're going to get in trouble today, okay? You're going to have some explaining
You know what? You should cite explosion for why you didn't turn that in.
Person was exploded in the hat. I don't know.
Hat literally exploded.
She had permanent scars on her legs from it, I guess. And I guess later at some kind of Hollywood thing, I don't know if it was like...
This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Let's talk about bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, and it doesn't have to be that way. But with SoFi's high-yield checkings and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit. No account or overdraft fees. We love transparency. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, plus get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/morbid. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply. Do you remember in school when you just knew that your teacher had a favorite of everything? They would always use the same blue dry erase marker when they wrote on the board, or they would talk nonstop about their favorite element during science. I had a teacher once that literally had a favorite brand of marker. She would only write with specific markers, and if another marker ended up in her classroom, she was TO'd. And honestly, I was probably her favorite student because at the end of the year, I got her that specific brand of marker. Let's talk about their real favorite thing, though. Their favorite tissue brand. Kleenex. According to teacher lists, they are the #1 facial tissue trusted by teachers. Kleenex Ultra Soft tissues are silky soft to help prevent skin irritation, and now you can take them anywhere with Kleenex Snap and Go. I absolutely love Kleenex Snap and Go. It's so perfect to have that in your car. I had a cold last week and I was just... Honey, my nose was a faucet. I hate to do this to you, but it was disgusting. Drew literally came out of our garage with like 15 of the Kleenex Snap and Goes, and I put those in my glove compartment, and honey, they were easy access. It was so nice knowing that I didn't have to blow my nose into like an old wrapper that I had. Ew. So do the best thing for your kids' teachers and stock up on the ultimate classroom favorite. Maybe it'll make them their teacher's favorite student. They definitely have a favorite. Don't even get me started because, again, you know it was me. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Years later, she ran into Victor Fleming, and he tried to look under her skirt to see the scars because he said he felt so bad.
What?
He tried to see her leg scars because he wanted to see how bad it was.
I'd be like, well, my leg exploded, so that's how bad it was,
That's how
guy.
bad it was.
What the fuck, Victor?
Yeah.
I'd be like, Victor, get away from me. You bad news.
Get your bad news, okay? Now, Victor Fleming, speaking of him, I'll skip ahead to something with him because...
Please do.
He actually wrote and admitted to this incident.
Uh-oh.
He said, quote, "When Judy Garland couldn't stop breaking into giggles at the pseudo-menacing advance of Bert Lahr's Cowardly Lion." So when they first meet the Cowardly Lion and he runs after Toto.
Yeah.
And then she whacks him on the nose.
Yeah.
I guess she kept breaking into giggles because that's funny. And I guess Bert Lahr was really funny because he was like, "Rawr," like just like coming at her. So she kept laughing.
And
she was 17.
I was going to say she was literally young.
And so he said, quote, he escorted her off the yellow brick road and said, "Now, darling, this is serious," slapped her in the face, then ordered her, "Now go in there and work." And she said it. Yep, happened. And everyone around the set said, "I saw it happen." He literally slapped a 17-year-old girl in the face and was like, "Get back to work and stop laughing."
Wow. They weren't kidding when they said things were different back then.
And then he, I guess, immediately felt bad. So he started going around to the crew and asking people in the crew to punch him in the face.
Good.
And so they were all like, no, because they're like, I'm going to lose my job. I don't know. I can't.
It's a really weird way to handle that situation instead of just like going to her and saying, I feel really bad.
And also, how many of the crew, he hadn't met any of the crew. So he's literally walking up to them and they're like, "Hi, I'm Joe, Mr. Fleming. Nice to meet you." Like,
and he's like, punch me.
I won't punch you in the face.
Right in the kisser.
Please punch me.
Like, what?
And I guess Judy saw this happening because she immediately went back into the scene. The scene you see in the movie is exactly what happened right after she got slapped. The first take she did was the one in the movie.
Oh, wow.
So the one you see in the movie is right after she just got slapped in the face by Victor fucking Fleming.
She was so abused. It's really sad.
Oh, it's horrific.
What they did to her.
She actually heard all this, that he was walking around, asking crew members to punch himself. And I guess she, overheard this, and she went over to him and said, because he was like, "You should just punch me in the face," to her.
To which I would say, okie doke.
And I guess she said, "I won't do that, but I'll kiss your nose." And she did.
Oh, what a cutie.
They did Judy so wrong.
Yeah, they did her dirty.
They did her so wrong.
Yeah, I would have punched Victor Fleming straight in the kisser.
That's your time. Just kidding. But what a pure and wholesome human.
What a strange
who
way.
was led into such a shitty path of life.
Oh yeah, watching Judy the movie ruined me.
Yeah, it's
ruined
awful.
me.
I mean, her real name is Frances Gumm.
Huh.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Dorothy and the horrific things that were done to her, Judy Garland had the saddest life. At 14, she was working on her first real movie called Pigskin Parade. It was about like a football coach.
Sounds horrible.
Sure does. And the head of the studio, Louis B. Meyer, I don't know if it's Louis or Louis, but...
Get ready for the
was
tweets
just
about
gonna
that,
say.
my guy.
But he's a piece of shit, so I literally don't care what his real name is.
Good.
He would call her, quote, fat little pig in pigtails.
Wow.
So I don't care if it's Louis or Louis.
Yeah,
Don't care.
no.
Asshole.
Said that about
And
a
let me tell
child.
you, Mr. Glasshouse should have kept his rocks to himself. Go ahead and Google what he looks like. Yeah.
Name again?
Excuse me, Glasshouse. Louis B. Mayer.
Okay.
I think it's Louis. But yeah, like, go away, Mr. Glasshouse.
We're loading.
This is when she
Oh,
started.
come the fuck
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry.
Was there a mirror on set that day,
Yeah,
sir?
like, please.
Turd.
Now, this is when she started being placed on these crazy diets of only like soup and cigarettes and all that shit.
Seriously.
Now, for Oz, the studio execs focused heavily on her weight and basically made her feel like shit that she even had boobs. Because she was 17 at this point. She's like turning into like that time when you're getting
Women
a
have
chest.
boobs.
And now Dorothy was supposed to be like a younger girl. Like she was supposed to be like, I think in the book she's supposed to be like 12.
Oh.
But I think in the movie they have her more around like 15.
So cast a
maybe.
15-year-old if that's what you
So,
want.
well, and so they were like, we want you to look younger than 17. So obviously she's not. So they were literally documenting her food intake for months leading up to shooting.
Wow,
Like
that
the
is
execs,
so
studio execs are documenting a young girl's food intake for months.
And that is like, and obviously did, but will affect you for the rest of your life.
100%.
If you
That's-
start eating like that,
This stuff was the reason she died the way she did.
and like developing that
100%.
relationship with food is so dangerous.
Oh, it's so dangerous.
It's so sad.
They also kept her on a steady pill schedule at this point
Mm-hmm.
as well. They would force her to take what they called pep pills to stay awake.
AKA meth.
And downers to sleep and chill out. So she would sleep for like 4 hours and then they would just like shake her awake, force some pep pills down her throat, and make her work for like days straight before she would
pills.
crash again.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Now, during filming of Oz, she was on a diet of soup, dozens of cigarettes a day, and black coffee. That's it.
Jesus. Can you imagine her stomach?
And on top of it, they made her wear crazy corsets under that dress and strapped down her chest as tight as they could to make it so she didn't look like she had a chest.
Wow.
So she was, and that's like against her will. Like, and she's sitting there having to, like, and it's painful, and she's having to, like, pretend to be this, like, peppy, yay, like,
Right.
I'm just a young girl. And yeah, like,
I just can't imagine
Horrific.
what like condition her stomach was in with all those cigarettes, coffee on like an empty stomach, and then pills.
yeah.
My God.
Like, can you imagine how sick she felt all the time?
No, because I've had to go on like medicine before where like I've I broke my pelvis and they had to put me on morphine.
Yeah.
And you couldn't eat, and I was the sickest I have ever been.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having to be in that state while doing a movie where I was also just being treated like shit all the time.
Like when I had whatever pain pill they gave me after like my first C-section, I took one of them and I
get
was like
so ill.
so sick. I was like, I'm never taking that. Like, wow,
Yeah.
I could not handle that because I'm just usually I have like a pretty good pain tolerance, like a
Same.
fairly good one, and so I usually can get like if something hurts, I'll take like a Advil.
Yeah.
And it's like that usually is fine for me. So, but this, I was like, oh, I just got cut open. Maybe I should take this.
Yeah, hit
And
me up with
oh
that.
my God, never again. I
Yeah.
was like, no, this is not worth the sickness I feel.
We had to go back to the doctors when I was like that, and we were like, yeah, like
Yeah.
I can't take
I
this.
can't
And
handle it.
They had me take a half, and even a half, I was still like horribly ill.
I was like, they just gave me Motrin afterwards. And I was like, that's all I can do.
Yeah.
But on top of all of this with Judy Garland, some of the actors who played some of the characters in Munchkinland, they were like sexually assaulting her on set.
Good.
Yeah. And her husband, one of her husbands later said, quote, they would make Judy's life miserable on set by putting their hands under her dress.
My God.
The men were more than 40 years old at that point.
And she's 17.
Yeah. And she like is just turning 17.
Gross.
And she's like made to look like a child in that, like way
Yeah.
younger.
What the fuck, guys?
Yeah, it's just really messed up. And from what I read though, I guess the three guys, like the Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow, were like super protective of her.
Fuck yeah,
and they were all
Boston.
like good dudes, and none of them did anything like that, and they were like really tight as like a little unit.
Like a squad.
Yeah.
I love
so
that.
that's nice to know. At least she had like
She had the comfort of
some
that.
kind of protection there. But another thing that's really crazy about this is if you remember the poppy scene,
Yeah.
where the Wicked Witch of the West causes them to fall asleep in the poppies. Well, lucky for them, Glinda casts a counter spell during that causes snow to fall, and they all wake up. Unfortunately, Glinda was like maybe she was the bad guy here, because the snow that fell was 100% asbestos.
Oh.
Yeah. Just snowing on them.
That'll wake you up.
That'll wake you up.
And also put you to sleep.
I was going to say
forever.
For only a little while, but that just snowing on them. Now, this was the 1930s, and asbestos was actually used in Christmas decorations then, like fake snow.
What the fuck?
But still, this is wild to know now.
Yes.
Especially when you watch it and you're just like, oh, that's just straight up asbestos. And it's all over their faces, all over everything.
They're literally like
in their mouths. Like, it's just like, they're just like living in it. And it's funny because I read one of the articles I read was on Atlas Obscura, and they put it best by saying the Wizard of Oz, quote, literally douses its main characters in carcinogens.
Correct.
That's literally what it does. And when you watch the scene, you're just sitting there being like, poison.
Yeah,
That's
all
just
over
poison.
your body.
You're all being doused in poison.
Wow.
All of them.
Asbestos.
And a last big thing that I'll touch upon, which is like kind of the saddest thing to me. But I'll leave you on I'm going to leave you on a sad note. I'm sorry.
All right.
But I'll give you a couple things after this. But the woman who played Auntie M, Auntie M and Uncle Henry, you're just like, I love you.
Cuties.
I love you so much. Her name was Clara Blandick, and she was famous. She was like on Broadway and tons of movies.
Yeah.
This was actually one of her like smallest roles, but like she took it because she just loved the movie and they loved having her name on it. Now, after The Wizard of Oz was in like failing health, it was like through the 1950s, and she was going blind. She was the victim of severely painful arthritis all over her body, and they couldn't get it under control back then. Just real quick too, this is like a suicide trigger, so this is gonna be a minute where I'm gonna talk about it. So April 15th, 1962, she returned to her home after church. She placed photos and letters and mementos from her career all around her. She surrounded herself with newspaper clippings of her career, her awards, movie credits. She got dressed in a royal blue gown. She did her hair. And she took sleeping pills. And she laid on the couch with a gold blanket over her and placed a plastic bag over her head.
Oh, wow.
She passed away that way, and she left a note that said, quote, I am now about to make the great adventure. I cannot endure this agonizing pain any longer. It's all over my body. Neither can I face the impending blindness. I pray the Lord my soul to take. Amen.
Oh.
Apparently,
that is so sad.
She is buried very close to Charlie Grapewin, who played Uncle Henry, her husband.
Oh my gosh, no way.
Like yards away.
Wow.
They're like right next to each other.
Is that just like a weird
I
coincidence?
don't know if it was like meant to, but it's like a nice little like... But
little thought
how
there.
sad is that? Like she had this beautiful, amazing career.
Yeah. Can I say something weird? It's like beautifully sad. Like
It
the way
is,
that she
yeah.
did it, I'm glad that she was able to like take control of the way she wanted to do it.
She was in control of it. That was what she wanted to do. But like
Yeah.
how sad that she had no other option. Like
Yeah.
it's such a bummer that like medical stuff has come
Hadn't
so
come.
far, and it hadn't come that far to relieve her of any of that pain.
That is really sad.
Because I can't imagine being in chronic pain and there's nothing.
No,
There's
because
nothing to help you.
arthritis, like just
Oh, I
watching
can't
people go
imagine.
through. I obviously have never like gone through that,
Yeah.
but watching people go through that, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I really can't.
And to have it all over your body.
Yeah.
I hope she did have a great adventure.
I hope
and,
she did.
Excuse me. I hope she's having a
I
great
hope
adventure.
she's still having that great adventure.
Go off,
I hope she's over the
Clara.
rainbow having a blast.
Oh, that one really. Yeah,
I know.
Thanks.
I know, I'm sorry.
Do you have anything good
well,
in there?
I guess this just shows you how close like the three main characters, like the Ray Bolger and Bert Lahr and Jack Haley were. When I think Ray was the last one to pass away out of all of them. And when Jack Haley died, he gave a eulogy at his funeral, and he said, "Jack, it's going to be very lonesome on the yellow brick road now." That's how close they were. And just to leave you on, like, not the saddest of notes, but more like, wow, Margaret Hamilton, get it.
Okay.
The Wicked Witch's lines, most of them were cut, and a lot of her scenes were cut from the final film because execs and focus groups said the performance was way too terrifying. They said kids literally couldn't handle it.
Go off,
Like, so
sister.
Margaret Hamilton just scared the shit out
She was
of everybody.
like, that's what I was hired for, so...
She's only on screen for like 15 minutes in the film, but she had tons more.
Oh, that sucks.
And it was
that
all
she
like
worked
really
so hard.
scary. Like, she was terrifying.
I wish they had like did a version like where they could have released that version.
I know. I'm like, can we have her deleted scenes? I want
Yeah.
to see her scary ass scenes.
For real.
But
I wonder
yeah.
if they could ever uncover them someday.
I know. I wonder.
would think that there's a
Or
way to do that.
who knows? Have they? I'm not even sure. I should look it up.
I know. Let's find out.
But that is some of the dark secrets I found about the Yellow Brick Road.
About the Yellow Brick
It was
Road,
about
yeah.
the Yellow Brick Road, but about the Wizard of Oz and how fucked up the filming was.
Wow, that was really entertaining.
seems
Question
cursed.
mark? It definitely is cursed. I feel.
I feel like it's a lot.
I feel like I'm never gonna watch that movie the same with
You
your
don't
children.
when you watch it again, like,
and you're like,
you watch it
wow,
with a different.
You exploded.
Yeah.
You had to go to the hospital. You almost went blind.
Yeah.
You did this. Like,
And in the second half of the film, I haven't looked to see this, but Margaret Hamilton's wearing green gloves instead of green makeup because even when she came back, it hadn't healed enough that she
To
could put
paint
makeup on, so she had to wear gloves on her hands.
oh wow.
And I want to look for it the next time I
do
watch
too.
it now. Yeah, because I guess she also said that, like, Victor Fleming grabbed her hand when she came back and was like, it looks good. And she was like, no, that's...
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. I happen to be somebody that struggles with people pleasing. So a lot of times I will build things up and up and up and up and up and then kind of get to the point where I'm like, I need to let this out to this person. Even in 2026, that stigma and just stigma in general can get in the way of a lot of things, like getting support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking that first step yourself because you're busy. You're worried about what other people might think or telling yourself that you should handle this all alone. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, can be a space to slow down and talk through what's been building before it feels unmanageable. Just take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully qualified. Don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morbid.
Like, freshly healed skin.
Yeah,
like,
it looks pretty, but
it's
it
not
doesn't
thick
feel
enough
great.
to do anything. And, like, that's how nasty
Wow,
he
Victor
was.
Fleming sounds like the worst, and I
Yeah.
wish that everybody he had asked to punch him in the face actually did punch him in the face.
I know, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the dark shit about the Wizard of Oz. Oh, and just like, because I people might be wondering, because there's this big legend that one of the actors who played one of the Munchkins like hung themselves in a tree on set.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
that
not
you can
true.
see it in the original part of the film. That is
Yeah.
completely untrue.
Just
what
a-
people
like
were
a
seeing
legend.
was a bird that they had on set that like puts its wings up and kind of looks like it, and people have photoshopped like
Yeah.
an actual hanging person in there. It's not true. It didn't happen.
Or is that what they want you to think?
Yeah, there's absolutely no evidence or no police reports.
And I was going to say,
no nothing.
we know all the other horrific things about what went
it
down.
would have leaked out.
Yeah.
But it's still in a very enduring rumor because everything I was reading, every time I would like peek over at comments of it, like any little movies about it or books or anything, there was always a million people being like, well, someone hung themselves on the set. Like, that is an enduring rumor. People
Wow.
really believe that. And I did for a while. When that rumor first came out, I was young, and I remember trying to see it. I was like, what is, like, and you could see the bird, and I remember being like, is that? But it's not. It's a bird. Like,
Yeah, I remember definitely hearing that. I never looked for it, though.
yeah, that didn't happen, though. At least not that you can find anywhere.
Well, that's settling that it didn't
But,
happen.
yeah.
But
so,
everything else happened in this, so
really
thanks for
fucked
that.
up. Yeah, it's a fucked up movie. But I thought it might be, it's a holiday week. We're just going to give you this weird off episode that's still spooky, but like in a different way.
Yeah.
Humans are weird.
They certainly are.
I
I really enjoyed that. That was
good.
that was
I'm
a cool
glad.
episode.
Yeah, I just want to do something a little different.
Yeah, I like that.
Hope you guys dug it.
It's your show. Go off.
Yeah, it's my show, man. Yeah.
Well, we hope that you keep listening.
And we hope you
Keep
it
weird. But not so that you decide to direct a movie and do any of the things that were done on this movie set. Thank you and good night.
Bye. Follow the Yellow Brick Road.
Follow the Yellow Brick Road or don't.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find a pro for your project at Angie.com.